Samuel Abujinapo says the president's comment on Akonta Mining does not clear them of any wrongdoing. President Akufo Addo, during a meeting with the clergy yesterday, declared strongly that the mining company owned by the Ashanti Regional Chair of the governing party is not engaged in any illegal activity currently. This was on the back of calls for sanctions against the company, which is a subject of investigations both by the police and the Office of the Special Prosecutor for mining illegally in the Tano Nirim forest. Despite the comments by the president, the lands minister says Akonta Mines would be punished if the ongoing investigations finds them guilty.
So the president was not speaking about the wrongdoing or otherwise of Akonta Mining in the past, the criminality or otherwise of Akonta Mining in the past. He was not commenting on what happened in the past. He was giving an assurance of the state of affairs as at the time he was addressing the conference, and that is a statement of fact. And for me, I think that the president should be commended, the government should be commended, that we've gotten to a situation where we can confidently say that we are protecting the forest reserves of our country. That's essentially what the president said.
I mean, he'll be taken out of context?
Well, I'm not too sure about it's been taken out of context or not, because it's really plain. I mean, what he said is not, there's no ambiguity. There's no ambiguity. I mean, it will only take, with the greatest of respect, a mischievous person to pretend that there is some ambiguity in what the president said. And as I keep emphasizing, the president was giving an assurance following some anxiety expressed by one of the speakers at the conference. And I want to repeat, the president was not speaking to the issues of Akonta Mining as they happened in the past. The substantive issues of the conduct or otherwise of Akonta Mining are before the Ghana Police Service and the Special Prosecutor. And the president was not speaking to that. The president was giving an assurance about the state of affairs as he spoke.
Right, let's get onto the phone lines now and speak to Awula Serwah. She's the coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens for more on this. Many thanks for your time, Serwah. Now, the president's comment, he says the company is not engaged in any illegality as we speak. Was he wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say he was wrong, but what I will say is that without adding that the actions committed in the past will be dealt with, it gives the impression that we have forgotten about what happened in the past. We're only focusing on the fact that there's no, according to the president, illegal mining taking place as we speak. But what about the past actions that have caused devastation to the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve and the water bodies? As I keep on saying, if an armed robber comes to your house and causes mayhem, and then later on the police tell you that, oh, not to worry, he's no longer involved in armed robbery, would you find any comfort from that? Of course not. You'd want to hear about what is going to be done about his past actions which have affected you.
Well, the government continues to make attempts to, deal with this illegal mining, but the lands minister has met with the leadership of the military again today on strategy. I mean, from where you sit, how do you read into these actions on, how all these are, in an attempt to fight galamsey? How do you read it in all this? Because it seems we've been talking about this. It's all we've been talking, less action. What is your meaning into this?
So my reading is that enough isn't being done, and too many people are complicit. People are waiting for something to for Akonta Mining directors to be arrested and prosecuted. That is not happening yet. Joy News did a documentary, a very good one. We saw what was happening. What has happened as a consequence of the investigation they did. To date, no action has been taken. Currently, there's illegal mining going on in plain sight on the Ofin River. The activist rather was arrested, and the illegal miners were allowed to carry on. So from where I'm sitting, I can't see that there's any serious concerted effort to deal with illegal mining. And yes, it's a clear and present danger. Our water is at risk. Our land is being devastated, and soon the produce will be poisonous. In the Galamsey areas, there are birth defects and stillbirths and so on and so forth. I don't know what it will take to shake us out of our complacency, so that what we do is sustained action, not, once in a while we do something, arrest a few people, and then the key players are left untouched. I think that does not send a good message. The key players should be held accountable.
Do you think that it's because we've sort of left all the responsibility on the so-called key players, and we're not really seeing? I mean, you made mention of how birth defects are rife in these communities, but what can the citizenry also do to ensure that this menace of illegal mining does not continue or comes to a halt?
I mean, the citizens are doing their best. I know the Samurai Boy youth have said that they are not going to allow any entry into their forest reserve. I know, for example, that the farmers and youth at Atronsu have said they do not want community mining, because as far as they are concerned, community mining and illegal mining have the same effect. Their water bodies will be contaminated. And they have a beautiful stream, the Atronsu stream. The water, they say, is even better than Baltic. And community mining will only poison it. I mentioned activists on the Ofin River who were trying to stop the galamseyers, and the activists rather ended up being arrested. So the individuals are doing their best, but they can do only so much. That is why we have authorities, and the authorities should play their part. Some are complicit. Let's call a spade a spade. And so long as the perception is that the galamsey or illegal mining, whatever you want to call it, is going right up to the top, and that is why people like the directors of Akonta Mining are not being dealt with, whereas some other players are being arrested, but the key players are not being dealt with. It sort of makes it very difficult for the activists, because they have put their lives on the line, and are doing what they can, but they do need the support of the authorities. And currently, it doesn't look like it's coming.
All right. I want to thank you so much for your time. You heard there Awula Serwah there. She's the coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens speaking to us there. Well, the Lands Ministry